Freedom Fighters. I'm coming back at you with another Friday weekly news wrap up. And what are we going to talk about today? We got these tariffs kicking in and everything, where Trump had his, what they call that, the Revolution Day or Re-Independence Day or something like that, where he laid out all these reciprocal tariffs on these other countries. Whether that's a good move or not, I guess we're going to find out. But as for right now, everyone has their opinion of whether it's going to work or not. Um, I kind of have a differing opinion. I mean, I can see both sides of the coin. Um, I've mentioned before, why do we pay the defense budgets and, fund all these countries that hate us? And we call a lot of these countries allies, within the Western world, you want to call it, Europe, um, even Canada recently, right? We've come to blows with Canada, and, Trump said we don't need anything they have. And yes, we do trade, but it's not like we need it or we can't produce it ourselves. It's almost like we do them a favor. And what we do bring in of theirs, um, they tax us, a lot to bring to them, but what we do bring in of theirs, it's like we don't even really need, and then we pay them even more through subsidiaries and um, government help and all this stuff. We pretty much fund their economy, which is the same thing with a lot of these countries. Um, the little country in the Middle East that you're not allowed to talk about, that you literally pay with your tax dollars to give their children and themselves health care and education, and basically a nationalist state, that a national socialist state. I mean, isn't that the what's the word I'm looking for, the hypocrisy, or not hypocrisy, but the irony, of these people who are supposedly against national socialists. They are that. They are a ethno state, a nationalist ethno state that runs off of socialism, paid by our tax dollars. So they get everything for free. They get healthcare and education. They get, top of the line military, defense. They've got, the Iron Dome and uh, firearms and every kind of missile defense system and anything you could ever dream of. All funded by you and I, the American taxpayer. Um, the United States slave force. And again, that's where we brought up the conversation. Who's working for who? Who benefits from these relationships? And I'm not, just talking about that little country in the Middle East. Um, a lot of these European countries, same thing. They have socialized medicine. They have all these programs, all that stuff, and we're funding it all. And don't even get me started on the third world. All the aid and stuff we send there, and these people hate you. They hate us. Um, and for some of it, I don't blame them. Like they said with Doge, finding out the billions of dollars for um, transformer operations and the condoms in Ghana, and um, all the crazy stuff that was going on. Some of these people are like, what the heck? What was it? Gender studies in Pakistan, and anytime you put that stuff in the Middle East, you literally, that's what radicalizes these people. That's what creates these T words that they say, oh, they just hate you for no reason and they want to come after you. Well, because you're interfering in their lifestyle. You may not like it, but that's the way it's been there for thousands of years. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather just leave them alone and let them do what they want. We worry about us. And I mean, I don't want that stuff either. So, in that sense, I actually, view them as correct on their stance on some of those positions. But anyway, man, um, possibly could this turn the ship around and, these tariffs make us more money and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, I feel like it's over, man. Like, the ship ain't turning around. And that's ultimately what I wanted to get to was, people, I'm starting to see it on mainstream channels. Um, and, not news, because I don't know what the heck they're saying. I haven't watched mainstream, like, cable news in quite some time. I think like the last time I ever tuned to Fox was after Tucker got fired, and then I kind of switched to the Newsmax and other things. But then I realized they were just parroting, the same old conservative, boomer talking points, and there is no real right wing media, on cable that is. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I still watch, Tucker now on his YouTube channel. I watch AJ. I've really liked Redacted from now. I watch his channel a lot. He's willing to, say some other things that not everyone's willing to say. Candace Owens has been pretty damn good on her reporting. And I was skeptical of her in the past, and I'm just going to say, like, she seems to be the real deal. Um, Again, she's not afraid to look into things. She's not afraid to ask questions. I'm not going to say she's right on everything. No one is. You're not going to agree with everybody on every single thing, but she's pretty much, on it most of the time. And, a lot of these people are now coming around and saying, like, the ship can't be turned around. We're headed straight for the iceberg. And I've said it before, man, we are witnessing the Titanic sink. And that's the metaphor for the country. We are the Titanic. And I think it was one of my first videos when I came back here on YouTube where I said I picked the intro channel music, with the violins, because it represented, the gathering of the musicians playing the music, the violins, as the ship sank. And that's where we're at. A lot of people are saying, Trump was meant, to come in and usher in the collapse, or, that they, since he got in, that they're like, okay, we're going to crash it on his watch. Again, that's all to be seen. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but, everything that we've been seeing, and the message from day one was that nobody's coming to save us, right? We are on our own, and this doesn't get turned around by politicians, not by your mayors, your governors, um, state government, local government, up to your, congressmen, senators, and presidency. Like, politicians ain't gonna get us out of this. It's gonna take we the people. And the disclaimer, I do not encourage, support, intend to incite or any violent, illegal, unlawful actions. But what is legal and lawful is to suggest you form militias and get together with your community members. And again, the defense is on us. What happens in this country is based on what we allow to happen in this country. And I'm definitely going to do a video further diving into that. So if that's a topic you want to hear more about, like, share, subscribe, share the channel content and all that, and help me out, because, the overlords, man, I'm heavily shadow banned and censored, but, that's kind of the big thing that happened, the weekly news wrap up here, which I'm thinking about kind of switching the channel up. I mean, I kind of planned a trip here, and I've always wanted to do the travel vlog kind of thing and do some camping, and stuff like that, some fishing videos, and get back out more into nature and do some of that stuff. I've got some other topics, I want to talk about, but people are talking about, this whole thing coming down and whether the tariffs are going to work or not. I'm interested in your guys' opinions, but I think I did another video before, like America's burning or something like that, but it's pretty much done, and it's already dead. People think it's dying, like it's already dead. It's a corpse that we're crying over, and it's like one of the stages of grief, like where you refuse to let go. It's like it's time to realize that it's dead. It's already been dead, and we just need to mourn, like get it over with, realize where we're at, and then like rebuild. Get to the rebuild stage, which is going to lead to another topic I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you saw that post I made. I think I posted on YouTube and Twitter, now known as X, about that video of like the upcoming purge or something. So stay tuned for that one as well. But yeah, again, man, like, share, subscribe, help me out, and till the next one, man. You know what it is. Nobody's coming to save us. Only God can save you. So get right with God. Freedom Fighters out.